Hello guys, this is Mohana Chaitanya here. In the previous video we have seen CSS box model and it has some box properties namely height, width, padding, border and margin. And we have seen a pictorial representation of box model. It has a content which is nothing but a HTML element. It has height and width. After that it has padding, border and margin. It has top, left, right and bottom. In the previous video we have covered height and width. This is the output we have obtained in the previous video. We have styled height and width using viewport height and viewport width, and we add a background image, and we used background size property to cover the whole viewport height and viewport width. In today's video, we'll see padding and border properties, and we'll add a background container. To that background container, we'll give a background image and we'll add a card container which is present inside that background container, and we'll give some color, or we can say a background color, to that card, and we'll style this button using border and padding properties, and we're gonna style that background container and card container using the border and padding properties. Going to the HTML file, we already have a container. We'll make it as a background container by renaming the container to bg-container, and inside that bg container we'll add a card container, and the class name will be card. I'm going to give that name as card, and we'll wrap up this main heading, paragraph and button into that card. As we renamed this container to bg container, in CSS we need to rename the selector name also to bg-container. Let's try to run this. There is no change because we didn't style the card container. Let's give that card selector, and we'll add a background color to that card container as something colorless light blue. Background color. Let's try to run this. See that card container's background color is changed to light blue. After that, we'll see some border properties to style this button. These are the border properties we have: border radius, border width, border style, border color, and border shorthand. In today's video, we'll cover border radius and border width. And in border radius, if we give the just border radius property, all four sides will be have that property. Like that, four properties for the border radius are top left radius, top right radius, bottom left radius, and bottom right radius. You can see here for the border, it's the top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. We're gonna style that button. Let's go to the CSS and HTML file. We'll give a class name as button for the button. Class button. Going to the CSS file, we'll give the button selector dot button, and we'll give some height and width to that button. I'm giving the height as something 34 pixels and width as some 100 pixels. Let's try to run this. See, the height and width is assigned to that button. And we'll give some border radius so that the button will be curved. Let's give some border radius. I'm giving as 5 pixels. Let's try to run this. See, there is some curve in all four sides. Let's give some 10 pixels. Let's try to run this. See, it's some more curved. Let's give 20. See, it's some more curved. Likewise, we can give any number of values to that border radius. After that, there is a border width, like it is something like blackish. So if we want to remove that border radius color, we use a property called border width. It's the border width that is appearing as black. If we give the border width value as 0, it will be disappear because we gave this border width as 0. If we give something like 5 pixels, the border width will be increased. See, if we give 10, it will be more. See, likewise we can add or reduce this border width. If we don't want the border width, we can give as 0. See, the border width is 0. Now we'll add some curves to the card, like top left and top right. As we learn, there are some border radius properties like border top left radius, border top right radius, border bottom left radius, and border bottom right radius. Now, if we want the border radius properties on top, we need to give border top left and border top right. Let's give border top left radius. I'm giving the value as 20 pixels and border top right radius. I'm copying it. Let's try to run this. See, there are some curves to the card. If we want for all four sides, we can give just border radius and we can remove this. Let's try to run this. See, all four sides are curved. If we didn't specify any particular side and we give this border radius, all four sides will be curved. For now, we have seen two border properties, namely border radius and border width. Now, we'll see the padding property. This padding property has 5 types like padding top, padding bottom, padding left, and padding right, and just padding. If we give this padding, the padding will be applied on all four sides. We can see pictorially it is the padding. It has top, left, right, bottom. We namely called it as padding top, padding left, padding right, and padding bottom. Let's go to the code playground and we'll add some padding. Padding is nothing but a space around the content. Here there is no space for this card container. Let's try to add some space to this card container. The property name is padding. Let's give the value as some 20 pixels. Let's try to run this. Now there is no space. After running, the space has been created in all four sides. If we just want the space on top side, we can give padding hyphen top. Let's try to run this. See, there is only space. You can resize it. You can see now the pad in the top side only there is a space. If we want on the bottom also, you can give as padding hyphen bottom and give some value as 10 pixels. Let's try to run this. See, the 10 pixel space has been assigned in the bottom. If you want some 30 pixels on left side of the card, you can give as padding hyphen left and value will be 30. See, now the 30 pixel space has been assigned to the card in left side. If we want on right side, you can give as padding right and you can give as some 60 pixels. Run it. Likewise, the space will be assigned to this card because we are giving this padding to the card. Thank you.